My name is Amelie and I'm from Switzerland.
Hi, my name is Ambarin. I am originally from Bangladesh, growing up there in Canada.
Hi, my name is Masha and I'm originally from Russia.
Hi, I'm Tazeen. I'm from India.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and I'm from the United States.
Hi, my name is Ikram and I'm from France.
Like at the beginning, K-pop, it was from Korea because it was the local pop music there that they made for themselves. It's becoming more international with different artists, with different inspirations.
For anyone who hasn't been exposed to it, the perception is that it's K-pop, but there's so many different layers and genres. And there's also, like elements of hip hop and elements of R&B and jazz, depending on who you listen to. But also there's probably an artist for everyone.
There is pop music and it can be addressed from different countries with different languages and cultures. There is for sure Russian pop, there is American pop, and there is also Korean pop. And if you want to call it short, it will be K-pop. It's like the origin, mostly, not the genre.
Something that is fun, that is entertaining. It has great music. And if someone's into dancing, then great dance. And there's a lot to explore in terms of genre. It's not just pop.
It's not the same as Western pop, but it has the same overall goals, I think. If you think of marketed boy groups, girl groups in the West, while there are distinct differences, the main goal is to, look nice and make catchy music that can, go viral. It's music that you might be more familiar with than you realize.
I would tell them about the clothes, the makeup. It is different from other music videos. Everything is on point, and I think there is a real effort put into the concept. Everything is planned. Everything is made beautifully.
And I realized that I had shiny songs on my phone saved since 2020, I think, but I had no idea it was K-pop. Later, when I decided to go to South Korea, I thought, oh, I should know about K-pop since I'm going there. So I actually started listening to K-pop, I think, in 2022. I realized that it's actually very good.
I heard my first K-pop song in 2008, and it was Girls' Generation. It was at a multicultural festival held at my high school in Canada. And the two people who were performing it when we were doing dress rehearsals would have it on all the time. And you didn't know the words except for the English words, but it was still like a collective feeling of this is a lot of fun. And it was always stuck in our heads, and it was for like a week.
I first encountered K-pop when I was like 12, and it was 2010-ish, I think. But I wasn't like a fan. I just I watched some dramas and I knew that the actor was a guy from K-pop group, and I was like, well, probably there is a point. And I think the next time I came across it was like 2016.
I discovered K-pop after I discovered K-drama. That is back in 2021. And it was my friend. She was the one who introduced me to K-drama first. When she thought that, I was like, okay, I started to get the idea of K-drama and I was quite invested into it. Then she introduced me to K-pop. And the first band that she introduced me to, which is still my favorite, was BTS. The first 3 songs that she showed me was Black Swan, Mic Drop, and Boy With Love, and I was sold.
I remember looking up videos on YouTube with a friend of mine, and we came across the song Fantastic Baby by Big Bang, and that was in, I think, 2012.
I first discovered K-pop when I moved from Italy to France, and my first ever French friend, she made me discover K-pop by listening to music videos, reacting to video clips, and I really enjoyed it. It was refreshing and unique.
At the beginning, I was kind of wary of saying, oh, actually, I enjoy it. I told everyone, like, oh, I'm listening to K-pop because I'm going to South Korea and I want to learn, like, what kind of music to listen to there. But then I had some people telling me, I don't like K-pop, especially BTS. Like, they're so overrated. And then I realized they didn't know anything about them at all. They had no idea. It's the perception of the boy band that's like, oh, One Direction, BTS, they're all made for little girls, when they're really not at all. But then when people would tell me their perception, I would say, actually, it's really good. I really enjoy it. You should really listen to it. Then the more I talked about enjoying K-pop, the more I realized there's other people enjoying K-pop. I realized that many friends of mine actually enjoy K-pop, which I didn't know before.
In the last 5 to 7 years, the perception is much more open now, or the reception of the music is much more open, because I think there's so much more mainstreamness. If, musicians from the West are just as accepted in Asia, why wouldn't the opposite also be true? And I think that that's a positive direction in which we seem to be going, at least.
Before K-pop, I like One Direction, and it also had kind of controversial reactions in Russia. Probably I was mocked by it. People were like, "Oh my god, you like boy bands? Oh my god!" So perception changed for sure, in a way that before it was more negative in a way, because even though Russia is really big, and there is regions close to Asia, Middle Asia, with more traditional culture, and obviously it's influencing the way that toxic masculinity, all of these masculinity related issues. But over time, people are just getting used to the public space where the people not looking like quote unquote men, in their opinion. It's not only about Russia, it's about a lot of countries. But I think eventually it's changing. For sure it's changing. Before it was more aggressive, more, again, toxic. Now it's getting better, I think.
But talking to other people about K-pop, when I first got introduced to it, was a bit difficult to do, because even when I did introduce people to it, they were like, everybody looks the same. These stereotypes were there. Everybody looks the same, and they look very feminine, they look very girly, they're putting on a lot of makeup, which is why I stopped kind of, talking to people about it. But as I started going deeper into K-pop, as I started exploring more things about K-pop, then I started coming into contact with people from India who are already into K-pop, or they're coming into K-pop. So then I started discovering that it's not just me, or it's just not a handful of people. There are plenty of people who are into K-pop. The influence is from the West in India still a lot. But now, since the West is also recognizing K-pop and talking more about the K-pop culture, it's flooding into India slowly and steadily.
I'd say that most people in the West would say this. I don't think that there's been much acceptance for liking kind of alternative things until recently. I think back when we were younger and I was in middle school when I started liking K-pop, I think that it was sort of something you liked very privately. I happened to listen to it with a friend, so we would talk about it. But, besides Gangnam Style, which was kind of normalized in the West and everyone heard it at their school dances and stuff, besides that song, which we really didn't even categorize as K-pop at that point in our heads, I feel like, I was pretty private about it. I didn't feel comfortable telling other people that I was a huge fan of K-pop. I kept it sort of to online social circles in social media platforms like Tumblr and stuff like that are places that I used to talk about K-pop, but never with any of the friends that I had close to me. I think it's made a total 180. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, BTS is kind of everywhere you go, and so are other K-pop groups. It sort of started becoming a big boom, I feel like, with BTS and Blackpink and really big groups like that.
I was quite happy to discover something new, so I really want to enjoy with other people. At that moment, I think I was in high school when I wanted to share my interest in K-pop, and I shared my interest into K-pop with my classmates, and even if they didn't really know much about K-pop and the culture there, they still enjoyed it, even if they weren't really much interested as me. Back in 2014-15, let's say, they didn't really know much about K-pop, so they really didn't have any point of view. Right now, because K-pop has really been a global thing, it's much more open to discover a new culture.
BTS. Yeah, actually, when I was in South Korea, I was there with a bunch of other students slash interns, and one of them suggested going to a show. It was ITZY. It was so interesting, the differences between a concert like in Switzerland, in like the Western world. In Seoul, they told us to stay seated, and you couldn't get up during the concert because of safety reasons, I think. But even if I was sitting down, it was still so amazing, and just the whole vibe was like, it was just a whole different experience from another kind of concert. And then I'm also super excited because I'm gonna go see Eric Nam, but in Zurich. So I'm very excited.
I am saving up all the money that I have in the world to hopefully see BTS when they come back. I'm actually, next March, I'm going with my friend to the Eric Nam show. So that I'm very excited for.
I would say that before COVID, and when I was living back in like European part of the world, I was mostly traveling to like Europe, for BTS, yeah, like K-pop only BTS. Of course, I started to attend more and more concerts when I moved to Korea. Like I think per month it can be like at least 2 concerts, but it's only because I live in Korea. Because if I would live abroad, it wouldn't be that easy.
I very proudly say that I have attended Yoongi's Sugar D-Day concert in June of 2023 in Seoul. It was just amazing. It was the first time that I went to any concert actually. Oh, this is what they say. So this is what everyone is just hyped up about. This is what it is like. And yeah, it was amazing.
I've been to a ton of K-pop concerts. I've been to a lot of them throughout the years. The first one I ever attended in person was Big Bang had a world tour in 2016, and I went to see their show while I was living in Japan in Osaka. That was the first K-pop show I ever went to. Been to, yeah, a ton, and I feel like each one was cool and unique in its own way, and they all made me feel nothing but happy.
It was maybe June or July 2019, the same year. I went to see them in Paris, and I really liked it. There were a lot of people. The vibe was just amazing.
Being a fan of K-pop makes you also more interested in the Korean culture. Like, it's kind of linked together, and I think it's super interesting because now there's so many more like tourists going to Korea because of K-pop, and it's actually crazy how big of a driver it is for the economy there. There's even people like wanting to learn Korean or wanting to learn how to cook Korean food, even if they can't go, just to feel closer to the artists they listen to. And I think that's very interesting and very unique, I think. I don't listen to many different genres of music, but if I've never tried to make like a British breakfast to feel closer to One Direction. If that's my point of reference. The music is just very linked to the culture, and it makes you want to learn more about it.
A really special kind of fan following that K-pop has, regardless of who you listen to or who your bias is. And I think that that's because it's so international, right? You know, people from so many different countries, from so many different like backgrounds who enjoy the music. And I think that that makes a very special kind of following, because you're brought together by your love of a particular kind of music, which is super special. This loyalty that you don't maybe see in other genres. There's also a really nice like camaraderie between people who are newly discovering K-pop or have been listening to it for, decades. Someone will always have a recommendation, or someone will always have a song that they'll want to share or a story that they'll want to share. And I think that that's very different from any other musical genre or musical fan following that I've seen.
All fandom. It can be like the fandom of real people, the fandom of like series, of, cartoons. It's all about like parasocial relationships. In a way, how you include this character, this person in your life. You feel them as your friends. With K-pop or social, a lot of times they're going more into like romantic direction. So people are getting like interacted in the life of an artist more personally.
This is the first time that I've been exposed to such a culture. But after getting into this, I would say that I think what would set them apart is mainly because of what the artists and the company the artists come from do for the fans. The fan service that these artists and the companies offer is nothing that I have ever seen anywhere. I mean, constant content output, fan-based events, fan meetings, viewers. For like, this is the first time I've heard that there's a platform where you can directly have like interaction with an artist. I think all of these makes the artist and the fans invested into the artists even more.
I've never felt more included and more just unconditionally supported in a group of people than at a K-pop concert. It comes down to it's a supportive environment, overwhelmingly positive. People dress to the nines. They express themselves so openly and freely. And I feel like in this world where there's a lot of sad and a lot of scary things going on, the environment that K-pop creates is something that is so few and far between in this world. It's safe and it is happy. I think the fandom and fans set themselves apart in that way, that K-pop really makes you feel like you can just be yourself and there's nothing wrong with the things that you like and the person that you are.
I think each fan is also different in the K-pop world because each K-pop group is different, has a different style, music style. So even amongst us, we are different. But again, we have the same common values that we care about the K-pop idol safety, their music style. And I think in that way, we are different from the Western music fans.
I was first interested in going to South Korea before I started listening to K-pop. Now, like after I went, I have a stronger connection to South Korea now, especially when I came back like right after. I kept listening to K-pop because I wanted to be there still. And it was kind of a way for me to still be in Seoul even if I wasn't. So I listened to the music. Before I just wanted to go to Korea to know more about the country. And now I want to go back to like visit different locations to different cities where I know some idols are from, because I'm curious about what their background is, and just because learning where they're from, it made me like I learned more things about the country and it made me want to go there. I also want to learn more about it because I want to be able to understand the lyrics. It's harder to translate songs from Korean to another language or from any language to another one, because you're always missing contextual information or like very tiny details that really make the meaning more deep.
I have an interest in the politics, but I don't think I saw myself going to Korea just to understand more about that at the time. I am all the more interested now to explore more because there's so much more that I could learn even from just starting from the music. I think K-pop has had a very significant impact on my desire to travel to South Korea.
When I gained interest in like Korean popular culture, I was doing like researches in my previous uni back in Russia. Eventually I got the scholarship and I came here. And I'm here for like 3.5 years already. And I graduated from the grad school here. I think before moving here, I came to Korea 2 times as a tourist. One just as a tourist, one because of the concert. And then eventually I got the scholarship and I came here.
So K-pop has definitely influenced my views and interest in Korean culture. The language has become more something that have become comfortable with. To the point where I wish to learn it. I've picked up a lot of words, but I do wish to learn it as a language properly, and more so because I really want to listen to the songs in the language itself and not keep reading the translations down below, because translations don't really give out the essence of the song as much as the original language does. that's the main reason why I would love to learn the Korean language. Very, I think, enduring for me as a person, and so yeah, I got interested in the language, the food, and it is also one of the reasons why I really wanted to visit Korea. For my first solo trip, Seoul was the only place that I really wanted to go to, and I did, and I don't regret it.
The driving force for my interest in Korean culture. A lot of people are primarily either interested in K-pop or K-drama when they're interested in Korean culture. I hadn't watched my first Korean drama until 2020, actually. That was the first time I ever watched a Korean drama, so the K-pop side was really what got me interested in Korean culture. Credit my interest in going further into diving into what that culture is to K-pop. I feel like I would have maybe never been interested in, pursuing some of the things I did later in life if it hadn't been for K-pop. So it made a big difference for me.
It did impact my interest in South Korea because even before going there, it sounds cliche, but I was watching K-dramas, watching a lot of K-pop clips because I wanted to go and watch concerts. So I think it was playing a role into that. So I think through all of this, I really wanted to go even more to South Korea. When I went in South Korea for my exchange program, I really liked the lifestyle there, so I could discover a whole new country that I was seeing from my screen.
There's different K-pop songs, and I listen to different ones based on how I feel, and then it helps me go through stuff. Before going to South Korea, when I started listening to the music, I was watching their videos and their live concerts to kind of see how they are and try to recognize each one individually who they are. And then I realized that I really enjoyed their dances. Then I started learning how to do their choreography before going on YouTube. And then when I was there, I took a dance class. It was really fun. And then it got me really into dance.
K-pop has really positively influenced my life. I was in the middle of the pandemic. Like a lot of people, I think there was a lot of mental processing that was going on, and a lot of, I think, sorting out feelings and a lot of those kinds of heavy things. And I think I used K-pop and Korean dramas as a means to escape, because I had to focus on subtitles or reading the lyrics, translated lyrics. Also, focusing on something else that didn't take up too much of a mental capacity that the pandemic made a lot of people feel. So I think it's significantly impacted it, and I think that maybe had it not been for months of being kind of stuck at home during the pandemic, I don't know if I would have been as fully immersed. So I think that gave me a little bit more time to kind of explore what I wanted to, and it's definitely piqued my curiosity and made me want to learn more and go and experience things myself.
I think eventually it got me some inspiration in the directions of my international movements, because before I found K-pop, I was kind of oh, I'm interested in music market. Should I go to UK, US? There is this agency I know that they do tour activities for this group. I had the opportunity to experience these activities. I was oh, it looks cool, I'm enjoying it, and I want more people to enjoy it. So that's kind of what influenced my personal decisions of moving to Korea.
K-pop has influenced my life immensely in the way that it has made me excited. It has given me it inspired me to travel. Inspired me to learn about another culture, get interested, get invested into the language, the food, the different things that Korea has to offer, and this has all been possible only through K-pop.
In some ways, K-pop changed my life. It helped normalize different cultures for me in a unique way from a young age. But that was one of the things that really sparked my interest in social justice and sort of more international issues. It was a part of the reason I chose my college major. It was a part of the reason I chose where to study abroad. It was a part of the reason I chose my job. Ever would have imagined I got a job that I did. I did partially because of K-pop in a weird roundabout way. And one of the things I didn't mention that I'd like to mention briefly is K-pop also brought me to have so many friends. So many friends that I would have never met, that I would have never kept in touch with. It's hard to find things to keep in touch about when you're so far away from some friends. And it's sort of been like a string that tied a lot of my friends together from different places I've lived in the world. There's just nothing better than the people that I've met thanks to K-pop. They've been some of the warmest and some of the most loving people that I've ever met.
It had a positive impact. I'm even more open-minded. I want to learn more about other cultures, and I'm still interested in South Korean culture because South Korea has always something new to share with the world, and that is why I'm always interested in South Korea and K-pop. And as I said, its uniqueness, it's what it makes special.
Resilience,
Uplifting.
Connection,
Mesmerizing,
Friendship.
It's unique.